Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Travis with Vid Transport LLC. I'm inside the cab of my truck. As you can see, I got everything all kind of taped off for the night. All my covers in the windows. I'm down here in Yuma, Arizona. It's 10:50 p.m. Today is July 17th of 2021. Told you guys I'd get some more videos out to you on a more frequent basis, so I'm trying to throw some of that stuff out there. Tried to leave out the house this last Monday, which would have been the July 12th. Freight was really slow in our area. Most of the time I did head out. That's what I ended up doing for this. Left Idaho to head up to Northern California. This load came from a manufacturer that contracts with the U.S. Army. So I picked up a load from them, and I believe it's McLean, which is real close to Anderson, California, and I'm down here in Yuma. Wasn't able to deliver it yesterday or today, so I'm having to deliver it on Monday. So getting a nice little 34 plus hour reset after I just left the house, which sucks, but it is what it is. When I was home, I was home for about a week and a half, I want to say, and had some work done to the truck. Had the shop do alignment work. Had some issues there. About 2 miles before I got home, I could hear the wheel weights came loose in the beauty ring. This is the second time that's happened. Super annoying. I don't know if it's because people are out of work, they're just going back to work, or they're new hires and they're just don't see them in very well. But the tire company that I go through, my fiance's mom actually works there, and so gives me a little push every time I go in there and there's something wrong, thankfully. But they treat myself and all my friends real well. They were super apologetic that I had it was like the second or third time I've taken the truck in to have something on it fixed. They re-straightened out the steering wheel after they did the alignment, because I didn't do that in the steering gearbox going down the road. The steering wheel was slanted and everything, so it was a bit, it is what it is. Little goof ups. I wasn't in a hurry, so it wasn't a super huge inconvenience, but hopefully they start getting that stuff figured out, so that way I don't have to keep running it back, or they might be the ones coming to the house to pick it up and make it right. But other than that, truck, trailer, doing good. I rolled over 104,033 miles. This thing is officially out of warranty. Purchased it, as you know, back in November of 2020, so a little over 6 months, and I have not been running that hard. I go out for maybe 3 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks a month, and then have some home time. I've been getting more serious about getting out and really starting to work every week if I can. We're in the process of trying to buy another truck, a big rig, and get my buddy Ryan over here to start driving for us. But outside of that, everything's been good. It's just super hot. It was 108 degrees most of today. A lot of people are super controversial about idling these trucks. I have everything factory on this thing. I try to idle it, only when I need to. From the factory, this is a cab and chassis setup, so the guy there was able to go in, program it. It idles up, helps burn off some of that stuff in the engine. And I don't have any, a lot of guys say the DPF or EGR will get plugged up, and I run diesel clean through this thing every third tank. And outside of that, it hasn't given me any problems. I had a couple check engine lights come on, took it into the dealership right before it went out of warranty. They went in, reset the transmission because it was some software update for hard shifts that was a recall. And so far it's doing good. I'm curious. I would love to delete this truck now and just stay out of the states that don't care to have that stuff removed, I guess. A lot of other states I've talked to, Even during full inspections, they don't really care. That's not their focus. They just want to make sure that you're not leaking, you're not, rolling coal, everything's functional, all that type of stuff. So we'll see what direction. This thing is super quiet driving down the road. Now that I put 104,000 miles on it, I can safely say that I'd love to put an exhaust on this truck, open it up, and if we get another hot shot here in the near future, be able to transfer stuff from this truck over to that truck. But yeah, it's been great. I don't have any real huge flaws. I know for maintenance, one thing that I didn't look into is transmission fluid. This thing has not had a transmission flush. Shame on me, I know. I heard it from the dealership. You're supposed to do the flushes or the fluid and filter swap every 30,000 miles. So got the parts ordered. Next time I'm home, I'm going to be changing out that fluid. I'm sure it's fucking disgusting. The guy checked it there at the dealership, said it might smell a little burnt, but not bad. I don't max this truck and trailer out. There's a few times that I've had a couple heavy loads on here, but outside of that, not too bad. I've had a lot of questions from people messaging over YouTube. I had a couple people reach out to me through email, and a couple people call me and want to know if Landstar is the real deal. And I can tell you this, you guys, from personal experience, without getting into my numbers and popping up a bunch of my personal stuff. I'll get some numbers. I'll have to cover some of that and really prepare something, so that way my personal information is not all the way out there. But I can tell you, if you treat this like a trucking job, or even a little less than a trucking job, like over the road aspect, and you're in the right freight areas, you guys can make buku bucks. And I'm saying this because Landstar doesn't operate under cheap freight, right? They're not your Swift. They're not some common carrier that, just hauls shitty rate stuff. Is there rates that are not so good? Yeah, because, an agent with Landstar might have a customer that gives them 5 good loads and then 3 really crappy loads to be like, look, I brought this to the table. I need all this stuff moved. So you'll see some rates that, little pieces that if you can make it part of your, a partial or something and combine them, it's great. But when you just see it on the load board and you're like 46 cents to go, per mile over 1,000 miles, like that's not that great. But if you already got something that's $3 a mile and can throw that on there, and then you're $3.40, $3.46 a mile, like hell yeah, So it's all on how you logistically place things. I have been putting partials together and hopping things around a little bit, because before I was literally, every now and then I might do a partial, but I'll have something now where I'm like, all right, I'm going from Idaho to Texas, right? And along the way I find something in Utah and I can throw it on there and it works, and that gets me an extra $2 a mile, and they're both going to Texas, right? Now you just turned a $3 and $5 a mile, partially. If you truly broke it down, it'd probably be like $4 and something a mile, which is great. It's a lot better than that $3 mile rate. And once you start placing those things together, that's really where you can start capitalizing on making some money. And I would tell a lot of guys, whatever you do, if you come over to Landstar and you can afford it, do not come over here with cheap equipment and basic equipment. Don't go down the route that I went. I did this as an experiment, see if it was really worth it, and it is. I regret not buying a 40-foot trailer. I regret not buying an air ride trailer for Hot Shot. There's a lot of cool things that you guys can haul with that, considering jet engines. I've seen rates, and hopefully this doesn't get me in trouble, but I've seen rates on Landstar going from Miami, Florida up to Alaska, paying $40,000 for hot shot exclusive to haul a jet engine up that way. I can't give out the agent's name or any of that, but you get hired on here, there's like specialized freight like that all over the place, and you get in with that agency, and you haul stuff and you do a good job for them. I get repeated customers all the time. I just came off of that 3-month military contract, and I mean, to say that it was nice not having to look for freight every day, that was awesome. It was really nice to get on something contracted, and hauling military stuff, hauling aviation stuff. It's a lot better than the everyday truck driver hauling bundles of wood or whatever. It's really cool, some of the stuff we haul. I'm looking at hauling a tank from Canby, Oregon, all the way to Newark, New Jersey. Or Newark, I can't really pronounce that, but yeah, and that's right shy of 3,000 miles, and the rate on that is just under $9,000. So it puts it like $306 a mile, which is great for that duration, for that distance and everything. A tank, I guess a couple tanks, it's not that heavy. So that'll be picked up this next Friday, and I'll get some video and everything of that, just so you guys can see. But yeah, the rates right now are still good. The economy, everybody thought it was going to dip. We don't really know. Excuse me. We don't really know. There's a lot of stuff, a lot of ships still out in the port. So a lot of the freight that comes from the port directly, that guys are needing TWIC cards, it's slowly coming in. A lot of it's still being held at sea. I feel that it's political why that stuff's sitting out there, but that's just my take on it. But yeah, I mean, there's still plenty of freight here stateside. People, I've hauled, construction equipment and boxes around. I've hauled nuclear stuff already for Landstar that was military escorted. I've hauled stuff for Boeing. I've hauled stuff for New Jet services. I've hauled drones. I've hauled a bunch of just different military odds and ends, construction stuff. So there's definitely a freight market out there. And like I said, we're not just hauling bundles of wood, even though I've done a couple of those just to, paid really well. I don't know if I did a video on it, but we literally went from, I believe I did actually, and it went from the Oregon coast all the way to New Jersey, which was insane. So, it was like silly stuff like that, and it didn't weigh next to nothing. But, people are willing to pay that freight, and it's expense on their business. So they, go from coast to coast to send the stuff and ship it, receive it, all that. And they're keeping us running. I mean, every day I get on the load board, I'm like, man, if I was just, a good place to be is Texas. Midwest, there's freight and everything there all the time. So, with all these people commenting and be like, hey, how's Landstar? Is it worth it? I had a guy ask me about, the percentage that Landstar takes. And I can tell you that it's definitely worth it. If you think about factoring, you're paying, 2 to 3 to 5% sometimes for factoring with your own authority. Insurance is supposed to be going up, guys. The federal government passed something saying that now we have to carry $2 million in cargo insurance, and just like our liability insurance and everything, which is going to kill the owner-operator with their own authority, in my opinion, due to the fact that insurance right now already super expensive, right? When I got this truck, or right before I got this truck, I was looking into doing my own authority, doing my own thing, and they wanted like $5,000 down, right? And then they wanted almost $2,000 a month, and I would have had to pay for factoring. I wouldn't have gotten a fuel surcharge. I wouldn't have gotten a lot of things, factored in. With Landstar, you got fuel surcharge. There's over 10,000 trucks with Landstar, so our insurance policy, they can offer us really good insurance. It's cheap, but it's good insurance. Um, you know, fuel surcharge, insurance. Um, the load board's fantastic. Um, you're going to find stuff on there every day that you are going to be able to haul. Not necessarily, depending on the area. If you run smart lanes, which I can tell you, I've worked every region in the United States now, and have put in at least 2 weeks at each spot. From East Coast to West Coast to up north to up, down south. And I can tell you, if you stay in the Midwest, stay in Texas, there's, down south or whatever, Texas is huge, Ohio, Wisconsin, Michigan, a lot of freight comes out of Illinois. Those areas are awesome. California, there's always hot shot freight. And this is all small truck stuff. If you look at big rigs everywhere. And that's why I'm kind of gearing that direction, due to the fact that I still live in Idaho. I'm trying to move back down to South Texas. I formerly used to live in Corpus Christi. Would love to move back to like San Antonio or Corpus. I think it'd be awesome. We've been looking at houses that direction, so that might be a possibility. And I think personally it'd be a smart move for the business because, this hot shot, I could run this thing up 400,000 miles. It hasn't given me any problems, knock on wood. These Cummins motors, you treat them right, you take care of them, do regular maintenance on them, they last forever. This Iacin transmission seems to be pretty bulletproof. I've had a lot of friends, with the same trucks, same 6.7 engine, same, transmission, and they're over 500,000 miles on their hot shots. They've had water pumps go out, yes. They've had belts and yada, 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 right? But that's common maintenance stuff. We take care of that maintenance stuff, and, we never have an issue. And, it's just like tire maintenance and everything like that. I've never had a blowout, knock on wood again, never had a blowout on the road. I've pulled into a shipper's, backed in, and they had metal that one of their guys didn't pick up, flattened the tire. Guess what? They put my spare tire on for me. Apologize. Sorry, that some metal went through your tire, whatever. It's a brand new tire. There's nothing I could do to repair it, fix it while I was on the road. And, they did me right. So I'm religious on my tires. I don't let them get bald. I don't let them get, definitely below 230 seconds, like at all. Once it starts nearing that, things are getting changed. So, the saying is, you take care of your equipment, it'll take care of you. And with Landstar, man, I have not had to run hard to make my bills. My truck payment is $1,100 a month. The trailer's $250 a month. My personal bills are about $3,000. I can make that all in a week at Landstar, and they pay weekly. So I turn all my stuff in by Thursday. I get paid Monday. It really is worth it, you guys. I'm not trying to. I'm not getting paid, obviously, from Landstar. This is just my own vlog. This is my own experience and everything. So I want you guys to, understand this is my experience. If you treat it like a trucking job, like how they normally want you out 2 to 3 weeks at a time, if you do that, in your hot shot, or if you come over here in a big truck and you run 2-3 weeks, you're going to line your pockets, be smart with your money, stack it, put it away, do whatever, and just keep growing if that's your goal. Or, if you want to make some money and have a lot of home time, this is great. This is a great way to do it. You get in with a agent that can keep you running certain lanes, and it's good freight. Like, I got a guy, that's why I'm doing this Canby, Oregon, over to Newark, New Jersey. Him and I have developed a really good relationship. We're turning a lot more into friends. We talk, every couple days, keep tabs on me where I'm at, stuff like that. And when really good freight comes up, he's always like, hey, this will work on your hot shot. I'd rather call you because I know how you do things, and that you've ran a bunch of successful loads for me. Would you mind doing this? And I get pick of freight before it even hits the load board. He gives me a call and he's like, Travis, do you want this? I'm like, hell yeah. So, he's on vacation right now. This load came across his email, and he messaged me a couple hours ago and was like, hey, you want to take this one? It's for a couple tanks going to New Jersey. I'm like, all right, give me the details. What's the rate? and it was all above satisfactory for me. And so I was like, hell yeah, man, sign me up for it. So, Monday he'll send me over the freight bill, get it all confirmed. And it's crazy to think that the guy's at vacation thinking about, some truck driver that's done work for him, but just to push his load for him. Like, how awesome is that? That, at least he could reach out and be like, hey, you want first dibs at it. And I just think it's super cool. It's nice when people appreciate the good work that you do. And, not to toot my own horn, but I really try to be professional with every customer. And, even if it's them in the wrong, not sending the right information, and, they feel like chewing ass, whatever, I'm good about diffusing the situation. I don't let people walk on me. I'm very assertive, but I'm also very professional. And yeah, I'm so thankful for the opportunity that Landstar has given me over here, and partially it's getting the experience to get here. But, once you go through qualifications, that was a nightmare for me. I will tell you guys that time and time again. Corporate for Landstar knows who I am because I raise so much hell about it, and I get, courtesy checkups and everything every once in a while from them saying, hey, is things still going good? Any concerns? I'm like, no, like once you're in, it's, as long as you, dot your I's, cross your T's, whatever that saying is, as long as you keep yourself in check and you run the loads and you're professional about things and you don't give a reason for anybody to have to contact Landstar to be like, hey, this guy's doing a shit job. Hey, this is happening. Hey, this is happening. Landstar is amazing at working, just stay out of your personal life and let you do your thing. So I'll probably be here forever. I'm planning on, growing, expanding, creating a fleet, getting insurance for my drivers, and really making this an awesome thing. And having the opportunity, it's a big thanks to Landstar. This is the company that they built, and when they contract with owner operators, and we do a good job, we just continue to keep dominating the freight market, and it's definitely worth coming over here. And for the people that have been here, they were like, oh, Landstar didn't work for me, I literally have to, kind of laugh at them in a sense, and I'd really like to dig in and see what they were doing wrong to make it not work for them, because as long as you're making enough for the insurance, and Landstar doesn't have to like, hey, knock on your door to be like, we need, to make sure your insurance is paid this month because you took like 2 months off and there's nothing in your reserve account to pay for this stuff. There's no reason why you should be failing at Landstar. If you're not taking care of your equipment, that's on you. If you're late to deliveries and pickups, that's on you. Be proactive, show up early. I get there 30 minutes to an hour early before my pickup times because I don't know what traffic's going to look like. If you are going to have a delay, or when a delay comes up, contact your agent, contact the customer, do everything you can to make sure that communication's open. I mean, I've had a few situations where I had to stop and readjust tarps, and then like 2 or 3 times in an hour because we were getting crazy crosswinds and my tarp, I guess I didn't set it right or however, and then I called and had to delay it twice. Moved it from like a 3:30 to almost 6 o'clock at night, and the gentleman thankfully was able to stick around and let me deliver. But I stayed in communication and with the agent and with the customer, and they're totally understanding about both situations. There's a huge wreck, on top of all that with a rollover during, the holiday that we just had, and they were they understood that. So that was a huge, relief, but at the same time, could have went the other way. They could have been like, hell no, you should have been here. We're going home. It's the weekend, blah, blah, blah. But it wasn't like that. And communication's huge. It's huge in every relationship. But yeah, so outside of that, you guys, like I said, I'm very happy with Landstar. I will stay here, as long as I can. I want to eventually work from home, dispatch trucks, but that's not going to happen for another probably 5 years. I'll be 31 this year. A little personal life on my end. I got 5 kids. My fiance. Um, we're looking to buy a house. There's a lot of changes, and this job, like contracting with Landstar, provides all that. It's so much security, because at the end of the day, stuff is still got to get transported. It might not be the best rates, but Landstar will keep us working. When COVID hit and everybody else was losing their ass, COVID brought over 30,000 more loads per week to Landstar. They were averaging 50,000 on the load board per week on Mondays, and now there's like 70 to 80,000 loads per week. It's crazy. And now that things are opening back up, we still have, like I checked this last Monday, 68,000 loads. And that's big loads, big trucks, small trucks. That's every single load for Landstar. And to me, that's crazy, right? For only having 10,000 trucks, probably pretty close to 11,000, I would assume now. And there's only like 250 hot shots now running for Landstar. So it's not much. The freight for us is amazing. I ran into a couple guys that do big trucks, and we're making more than the big trucks. They're on dedicated routes, or they're taking cheap freight because it's something that they can grab, and they're in and they're out and whatever. And I'm like, here I am in a little truck killing it, and I am super happy with it. I have the worst setup in the game over here, and if you guys come over, get the 40-foot trailer, get it with ramps, get it air ride for sure. Get a truck that has a high output. Don't buy the new Ram 3500 like I did. That's heavy duty. It's, my truck's high output. Get the high output, because then you can haul up to like 43 to 45,000 pounds depending on your setup. This truck only handles 33,000 with truck trailer equipment. So get the bigger truck, or the better truck. Get the better trailer. And there's no reason, if I can make it with this, not knowing crap about dispatching or anything, and I can learn this stuff easily in 6 months, you guys can do it too. So my education and knowledge is in aviation, helicopters, and as a paramedic, and I don't do either of those anymore. I'd like to get back to flying helicopters as our airplanes as a kind of a pastime, or something to do on my leisure. But career-wise, I'm like, this has made more sense. I'm happy you're doing this. I get to see a lot of cool things doing this. There's not a lot of pressure with this, of school or anything like that. Just get in a truck, secure stuff, drive, see the country, see a lot of things that you don't see. So I would say definitely come over to Landstar. Give it 6 months. You work hard for it, it'll pay you graciously. I'll try and work on some numbers, try getting you guys some of that stuff. I might do another load board video, come Monday. We'll just see. We'll see how it pans out. But it's already 11:23 at night here. I'm going to get some shut-eye. I appreciate y'all checking back in. I'm sorry this video drug on, but I do what I do. So I appreciate everybody following me. I appreciate everybody asking questions. That's huge for me. It gives me something to do throughout the day, besides the normal just drive and load and go. So it's really nice to get some feedback, because it also helps me if there's things that I'm not really thinking about. Helps me stop and think and observe and really get into some detail. So thank you all for the questions and the comments and the support. And if you guys have anything, feel free to post it. You can email us at fleettransportllc@gmail.com. And hit that like, subscribe, share. If you got people that want to come over, you want to make some money, that's got some experience, Landstar is the way to go. So everybody, you guys and gals have a great night, and appreciate you tuning in. I'll catch you on the next one.